participants, coaches, trainers, and parents in the room tonight for all your support. The strong commitment and development of our youth is the reason that we're gathered here tonight. Sports make you strong, healthy, and teaches us to accept defeat and celebrate victory. These lessons later become building blocks in a successful life. Tonight we recognize the achievements of a number of individuals in the room, and I just want to say congratulations to everyone. The determination and perseverance that you have learned will stay with you all your life. Thank you for your time this evening, and I hope you have a great night.
The scripture that I'll be reading from comes from the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. It says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith. For the joy set before him, he endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God." Let us go to the Lord in prayer. God, we just want to come to you tonight humbly. And God, just remember what all we have achieved this year. And God, we'd like to lift up a special prayer for Mo Horn, God. We don't know what's going to come with him, God, but we know that he's in your hands, God. And you just put your healing hand on him. And it's in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen.
Amen. This time, I'm going to show you a little hype video that Mr. Greg Hill's put together for our banquet tonight. Get us in the mood. All right.
Winning is simply a mindset. A mindset, however, that is only developed by outstanding individuals. It's not about talent, it's about effort. Effort will get you the win when the talent is having a rest day. Effort will drive you home when everyone expects you to give up. Effort will drag you from the canvas when you have been knocked out by life. Winning is not some special reward only reserved for the lucky among us. If you ask all the failures, they will tell you it is luck, but it's not. Winning is a reward you receive when you have put in the hard work, when no one is watching. Winning is for champion attitudes and champion hearts. If you throw me to the wolves, know that I will return leading the pack. It only takes one moment to decide you are going to be a winner. One moment is all it takes. It only takes one moment to make a decision. One moment to say no, to say never again. Never again will I settle. Never again will I accept anything but first place. One moment to be strong. One moment to separate myself from the rest. Win at all costs. Winning is simply a mindset. A mindset, however, that is only developed by outstanding individuals. Are you outstanding? Outwork your competition. If you outwork your opponent day in and day out, you will beat him come game day. There is no question. But you have to have commitment and discipline to be better day in and day out, always giving more than your opponent. One more rep, one more set, one more mile. That is what it takes to get the edge. Winning is what happens when deep down inside you got tired of losing. Winning is what happens when your desire to win is greater than your fear of failure. Winning is what happens when your why Sometimes it's gonna hurt. Sometimes it might even seem impossible. But remember, it's only impossible if you give up. If you stay in the game, hang in there, give yourself a shot. It is possible. Make sure your opponent knows you are ready for war. Look him in the eyes and make sure he knows he won't stop. Look him in the eyes and you will see his fear. Because he knows he's not ready for you. Not today. This is your time. Refuse to give up. Never settle and win at all costs.
Volleyball team to come up. Seniors are Allie Brown, Leona Ford, Shakira Smith, and Lizzie Thomas. Sophomores are Mason Claire Cable, Leah Hammonds, LaGenesis Johnson, Abby Lambert, and Veronica Molina. Freshmen, Jenna Bellew, Raquella Graham, Addie Stacy, and Akira Taylor. And 8th graders, Kirsten Easley and Keely Reed. This team finished the season with a record of 18-12 overall. They were 7-1 in the district. The seniors graduate with a 3-year record of 54-34-1 and will be sorely missed next year. This team finished as division champions. They were ranked number 6 in Class 1. They were part of the Elite 8 in playoffs and only one set away from being in the Final 4. The team has had 3 straight division championships. Next year we hope to make it 4. I'm really proud of all you girls. They also got to see the best kill in volleyball at any level. One of our players swung as hard as she could. She missed the ball completely. It hit her on the head, bounced over the net, and landed on the floor between some really confused players on the other side. And yes, that counts as a kill. I won't tell you who that was. The first award I want to present tonight is Most Improved. The girls helped me pick this young lady, and I definitely think she deserves it. She worked really hard on improving her setting this year, and especially worked hard on serving overhand, and she managed to finally do it consistently by the end of the year. Most Improved is Jenna Bellew. Next is the Coaches Award, and this one was really tough to decide. I had 2 players that I thought really deserved it. Both of the girls I was choosing between do the little things like showing up on time, cheering for their teammates, working really hard in their free time to improve. And I went with the girl. She has a little bit more leadership with the other girls. She's a little bit tougher in adversity. She was also in the running for some of the statistical awards. Coach's Award is Macy Claire Cable. The Captain Award is a little different this year. I have 4 great seniors, and they each lead in their own way. It was going to be really hard for me to choose one of them, so again I asked the girls to help me decide. I was a little bit surprised by what I got back from them. But I did it because this girl, she had some injuries, but she was at almost every game. I think there were a couple that she was told, you can't go, you have to stay home, and she was upset about it.
She's on the JV team, but she was always a leader and a motivator, even for the varsity players. She's their biggest fan, whether she was on the court or off the court. And the referees even had to tell her a few times, you gotta sit down, or you have to go behind the bench if you're gonna stand up and do all that crazy stuff. Captain Award is Abby Lambert. All right, the rest of the awards are statistical. The assist award, given to the player with the most assists. Setters take a lot of responsibility on the floor, and they get very little recognition when they help get the kill. Everybody's caught up in how awesome the kill was. It's a selfless job, but it's perfect for this player because she's not really that fond of the spotlight, and this award goes to Shakira Smith. The serve award, I based this off of number of aces, serve percentage, and total points won. Her consistency got her to the first serving spot in the lineup. She could serve very hard at times, but she also knew that it's not always about serving hard. Sometimes you just need to get it in. And the serve award goes to Lizzie Thomas. Best defensive player, one of our leaders in Diggs, also one of the best serve receivers. She had to deal with some injuries and setbacks this year, but always managed to play very hard. Some games she might have struggled in other areas on the court, but her defense was always on. Best defensive player, Leon Pork. Best offensive player, she led in total kills, kill percentage, and hitting percentage. She has taught herself a lot of technique. She would look up videos and instructions in her free time and teach herself stuff. She's got natural ability, desire to learn, to get better, and she'll even take a risk every now and then. She hit with power, accuracy, and strategy. The best offensive player is Allie Brown. The last awards I have, to me, are some of the most important when it comes to stats. The all-division awards are based off of the division games, and those are the ones that really matter because that's what sends you to the playoffs. We have two honorable mention all-divisions, LaGenesis Johnson and Shakira Smith. All division awards were Allie Brown, Leon Pork, and Lizzie Thomas. We want to thank everybody who supported us this season, the Booster Club, Miss Dolly Fulgham, for supporting our fundraising and traveling, Mr. Roy, Miss Val, Mr. Beard, Mr. Chris Threadgill for all the tweets and videos and for promoting us. Miss Nichols being in the office and keeping us all of us straight. The Molina family and the Brown family for helping feed us. Every parent and fan that showed up to support us at our games, whether it was close or far away. The football team and the student body, we thank y'all for showing up and showing out. Y'all did that several times. And then anybody that I may have forgotten to mention, thank you. We really do appreciate everything that's done for us. And then one more round of applause for these young ladies.
Shakira Smith, Lovey Jenkins, Lizzie Thomas,
Macy Gamble, Hallie Ruth Stevenson, Maddie Turner, Harry Carr, Claudia Kane, Elise Hood, Abby Lampert, Lakin Busby, Neely Ryan Crowley, and LaGenesis Johnson.
In addition to cheering on our Charter football team, the high school cheerleaders went to competition for the first time ever at Choctaw County High School. On December 16th, our girls competed against 16 3A through 6A squads at the MHSAA state cheerleading competition and proudly earned a 5th place title in the state. We are so incredibly proud of their hard work and this huge accomplishment. At this time, we have several awards we want to present to our girls.
Our first award is the Best Attitude Award. This award is going to a girl who we could always count on coming to practice and putting her best day in and day out, regardless of what she might be facing, including flu, strep, the day before competition. There was never any question about her showing up and bringing the best version of herself that day. This year, the Best Attitude Award goes to Claudia Kate.
The next award is the Spirit Award. This award is going to a cheerleader who embodies what it means to have spirit. She was faced with quite a few battles this year that would have knocked most down, but she never failed to be encouraging and full of Charter spirit. Although she was unable to compete with us due to having an injury, she was a crucial part of our team. This year's Spirit Award goes to Abby Lampert.
The Most Improved Award is going to a cheerleader who joined the high school squad and flourished into a valuable member of the squad. It has been so much fun watching her develop her skills and abilities from the first practice when she was fearful of flying to seeing her nail everything at competition. This year, Most Improved Award goes to Elsie, as we call her, Elise Wood.
We added a couple of awards this year, one being the Step Up Award. We will be giving 2 Step Up Awards this year to girls who were thrown to the wolves halfway into our season and ended up being a huge part of our competition team. This year, we are excited to present a Step Up Award to both 8th graders who joined us, Neely Ryan Crowley and Lakin Busby.
We also have the Powerhouse Award that is going to one of our girls who literally served as our powerhouse this year. There were days where we didn't think any stunt would go up, but somehow she managed to prove us all wrong every time. She pushed through and made it work the entire season, and we will miss her very much next year. We are happy to present our Powerhouse Award to Clancy Burton.
The Leadership Award is a special award to us and is going to one of our girls who is also very special to us. There were days when she tested us more than anyone else, but when it came down to it, we could always count on her to step up and encourage, lead, and bring positive energy to the entire squad. We will miss her so very much next year and are happy to present our Leadership Award to Riley Bowman.
Finally, we have our Charger Spirit Award. We put a lot of thought into who we would give this award to, and we were going between 2 outstanding cheerleaders. We decided that both girls were more than deserving of this award based on their work ethic, attitude, and being an example of what a Charger cheerleader is on and off the field, on the mat, and when they aren't even wearing their uniform. To say these 2 have been an asset to our team would be an understatement, and we are so proud to present the Charger Spirit Awards to Hallie Ruth Stevenson and Shakira Smith.
Thank you again to everybody who helped with the season's success. We love every one of you, and let's give it up for these girls.
in addition to a family, their baby was born several weeks early, and he's been driving back and forth to Jackson every night after work to get to visit his baby who is still in the hospital. So we're sorry that he's not here tonight. He really wishes he was here, and I kind of do too right now. We'd like all the cross-country girls to join the stage right now. All of our cross-country varsity girls come to the stage. We don't have too many of them. Our members are Jenna Bellew, Claudia Kay, Macy Claire Cable, Rachel Goins, Sadie McKnight, Katie Miles, Hallie Ruth Stevenson, Cheyenne Thomas, Adriana O'Brien, Haley O'Brien, and Cassie Taylor. The cross-country team is only in their second year here at the high school, and we are really excited about the things that are happening with it. We hope it continues to grow. We appreciate the support of the district and also of the Booster Club trying to get this program started. Sometimes it gets a little discouraging for the participants when they look at these other schools who have been having programs for many, many years and how large they are. Something that everyone needs to know about a lot of our students, they are participating. As you can see, these girls, 3, 4 of them have already been on the stage. They participate in several other sports. We have volleyball players, cheerleaders, we have football players, we have softball players. It takes a lot of dedication and hard work to continue to try to do 2 sports at one time. Especially think about after they cheer or they play football on Friday night, they're getting up and at the school at 5:30 to get on the bus and travel because none of the cross-country meets are local. We have several awards we want to give to the girls. We're going to start out with the most valuable player. This year's most valuable player goes to the runner who fought to be first on our team every single day, whether it was at practice or at the meet. This was also her first year to run, so that shows her competitive nature, I believe. Katie Miles is our most valuable player. Most improved goes to an individual who stepped up. This award is not for a person who was terrible at the beginning of the season and was less terrible as it went on. She was someone who worked hard throughout the year. She was promoted from the JV team to the varsity team and ran with us at state. She is not here tonight, but this most improved award goes to Cassie Taylor. Most inspirational award also goes to a young lady who was not here tonight. I'm sorry. She had every excuse and opportunity to not even participate in this sport. However, she has not ever let that set her apart. In fact, she makes sure to tell the coach most days she did not need any help in running or walking after the race was over because no one else on the team did. Most might call her hard-headed. We call her to have the heart of a champion. The most inspirational award goes to Adriana O'Brien. The best newcomer award goes to an individual who came out of nowhere this year. She worked hard due to other sports that she plays. She had to run many, many days on her own time. I believe her mother ran with her quite a bit also. We are very proud of the effort she displayed this year and her positive attitude. The best newcomer award is Macy Claire Cable. Guys, cross-country boys, can y'all come on and go to the stage? Girls, you can have a seat. Thank you. Y'all give them a round of The boys team consists of Jared Bellew, Ben Carr, Caleb Fowler, Brandon Hadley, Trenton McGee, Riley McLaughlin, Devon Miller, Brian Threadgill, Tanner Threadgill, Paxton Hammonds. Same awards with the guys. Our guys stepped it up a lot this year. As a team, they did quite a bit of improvement. They moved up in the rankings. And in cross country, you have individual awards, but you also have team awards. It is built on a team. It is the score of 5 people. Everyone counts. If there's ties, it's that 6th person coming in to help that score. So it's really a team effort. Every little thing you do, every step you take, every bit of effort makes a difference, and our guys really stepped it up this year. We're really proud of them. Our MVP award this year, someone who never let the team down, showed his support to everyone, all ages, every race, after his race, before his race, he was cheering them on, really just never stopped. He placed in the top runners at several races this year. The MVP has been this summer I was running around town. We know that he had his eyes set on a go, and he did accomplish it. He showed great improvement this year. Riley McLaughlin was this year's most improved. This year's best newcomer was also a man who improved every day. He worked hard and he rarely complained. We were proud of him. Caleb Fowler was this year's best newcomer. This year's most inspirational goes to the young man who amazed Coach Walker and the rest of his teammates. Personally, I think most of them thought he was a little bit crazy for running after he continued to pass out multiple times. That was not going to stop him, though. In fact, the day before the state meet, he actually spent the night in the hospital in Jackson, and he kept asking the doctor one thing: can I run tomorrow? It's the state meet. And so this year's most inspirational award goes to Ben Carter. Ben also, another first for us as a cross-country team, he finished in the top 20 at the state meet. We have a couple of gifts for the seniors. Tanner and Ben are our seniors this year. We just have another little thing for them. Thank you.
All right. Can I get my senior football players to come on the stage for just a moment? Seniors, please. It looks like I've got 10 guys here tonight out of 13, and I'm just going to tell you, I want to call these guys up because I want you to understand, here's the foundation for a football program in Choctaw County that we can all be proud of. These young men right here, they set the stage this year, changed the entire culture of our program. Before the end of the year was over with, we had a pretty well-oiled machine, and it couldn't have been that without these young men right up here. Let's give them a round of applause. These guys have heard me say this, you only get one chance to be a senior ever. And high school football in general, the reality of it is there's a whole lot more Ben Ashleys than there is Tom Brady's that's ever going to play this game. And what I mean by that is most of us are going to play this game for the memories that we create. And you get one chance to be a senior. And I am so excited for these young men because they created a positive memory. They saw this entire community come together and get behind the football team. And they set the bar really high for next year's group of seniors. And I know they're going to meet it. I know those guys are. But again, these guys laid the foundation. What I've got for them right here, their mothers took a picture with them. And we're going to hand those out to them at this time. We're going to go ahead and do that. They took a really, really neat picture with their babies up in the stands. And really neat idea, and it's a good looking picture. So guys, if you had one of those pictures, come on over here and get it, please. We'll start with you, Six. You know, Jackie Sherrill used to call them by their number, and everyone would say their name. He said they may not know their name, but they always know their number. 12, come on, Bryce. Bryce up there. Number 6 is Austin Kane. I think there's 3 in each of those goats. Yeah, I believe they're 3D, 4D. I'm sorry, Moms, I'm messing this up. Come on, Cameron. 33, Cameron. 23. Adam Craig Gill, 35. Jalen Esker's there. And 99, Tanner 3. Tanner, did you get yours? 4, Austin Fulton. 3, Marshall, number 5. I want to recognize Ben Carr too. He was our long snapper this year. He is not necessarily in this picture because he wasn't available that day. But this guy was very integral in what we did this year in laying this foundation. Ben
Ben Carr has tremendous leadership skills, and very proud of him. I'm a kindred spirit because I was a long snapper myself, and sometimes that position goes really unnoticed. So Ben Carr, those are our seniors, ladies and gentlemen. You guys can go have a seat. Okay, now we'll get into these awards. You know, whenever you have a successful football season, you get individual accolades that go with that. This year at the all-division meeting, when you go to the all-division meeting, I'm going to tell you how that works. You sit down and the other 5 coaches from the division, you guys sit down and you talk about it and you try to hash out a football team. And I don't ever say a whole lot at those things, and most coaches don't. They just allow the other coaches in the district to pick that team, so to speak. And what we do is we just kind of vote on this stuff, and we nominate, vote, that kind of thing. And we had a bunch of kids that were very worthy and a bunch of kids that received awards. So at this time, I'm going to start with honorable mention, and we're going to hand out some of these awards. Coach, will you hand me some of those? All right, Region 4, 3A, honorable mention. This young man, I'm going to tell you, he didn't play a lot of offense. Sometimes as a football coach, we're not real smart. I mean, I'll admit it. Early in the year, I was trying to fit this young man on the defensive side of the ball, and he just, you know, after 5 football games, it became obvious to me maybe that wasn't the right fit. And then an opportunity came for this young man, and in the 5 division games we played, he had about 560 yards rushing. Honorable mention 4-3A, Isaiah Hannah.
Let's go!
This next young man, you know, we go play at Caledonia, and we've got a rotation up front. And the secret to winning football games, one of the biggest secrets is not having injuries. Because you start with your best players that you think you got, and if you have a whole bunch of injuries, then things change. And you got to have guys that are ready. And this young man, when the time came, he was ready. And he did really well for us for the remainder of the year after the Caledonia game. Region 4-3A, honorable mention, Chris Anderson. This next young man, I don't believe I've seen him. He was our fullback this year, had a really big sophomore year for us. Going to be a guy that's going to get better each and every year. LT McBride. Another honorable mention guy we got here, one of the true wits on our football team. Just a witty guy. And when I played football, I used to like to give my coaches a bit of a hard time. Like I said earlier, I was the long snapper. And I played for a guy in junior college that could string cuss words together that I didn't even think could even imaginably fit in the same sentence. And we would be out there at punt team sometimes, and I would look over at the right guard on the punt team, a guy named Toby Collins, who's a football coach at Northwest Rankin. Now I'd look at him and say, Toby, you want to hear Coach Miller cuss? Watch this. And I'd snap at 85 feet over the punter's head there in practice. And I'm getting that back, every bit of it. From guys like this, Region 4-3A, honorable mention, Bryce Utley. Loves to give you a hard time. We got some more guys here, Region 4-3A, honorable mention, this young man came back to us. I don't think he played last year. Early on in the season, man, he was just kind of finding his way and getting better each and every week. And by the end of the year, he was a really good football player. And man, I expect a lot of things out of this young man in our secondary next year. Region 4-3A, honorable mention, Andrew Johnson. This next young man, I don't believe I've seen him tonight either. I don't think he's here. I'll be honest with you, I ain't crazy about playing freshmen because the problem with freshmen is a lot of times they're 14 years old. And that means a lot of times they're matched up with a kid across the ball that may be 18, even 19-year-olds. And that's tough. But this kid made me play him. He absolutely made me play him because he had a great year and he just competes and he's going to be a great football player. Region 4-3A, honorable mention, Quez McNeil. Another couple of guys guys I don't think are here tonight. Defensive lineman just got better as the season went on, just got better and better every week, and got to be where he was pretty steady. He's a really strong kid, really good with his hands, really physical, and expect a lot out of him next year. Kirby Bell, is Kirby here on that? This young man right here, I'm gonna tell you, this guy right here, he, you know, we came out of spring last year, and he was nowhere in the equation on the offensive line. He really wasn't. And over the course of the summer, he made himself become a part of that equation and ended up starting every game for us because he's just a gritty young man and he's tough. And he realized that he could find a place to help us at center. And man, he had a good year for us. Brady Brooks. All right, these guys right here, we got 6 guys that were fortunate enough to make the first team, Region 4 3A Division team. I'm going to start right here with this young man. He's I don't know, you know, I got here and everybody kept saying, hey, Coach, you ain't got a quarterback. That's all I ever heard. You ain't got a quarterback. You ain't got a quarterback. And my response to that was, I was at Amory High School for 35 games. Started 10 different kids at quarterback and played 14 different kids in 35 games. I think we'll figure something out. I've been there and done that. And so I watched this young man play baseball and he just had it. You know, you can't put your finger on it, but he's got it. Had a really good year for us this year, Austin Delano. You know, when I grew up playing on the offensive line at Pontotoc High School, I never weighed, I know it's hard to imagine this now with this svelte figure that I walk around with, but I never got over 200 pounds. Man, I tried. I just couldn't do it. It just wouldn't work. And then I got married, and now it's hard to stay below 3 bills. So, but this young man played guard for us this year, and he played it with the right mentality. He had bad intentions. Every time we sat down, said go, he had bad intentions. For the folks lined up next to him, plays the game the right way. Really looking forward to watching him progress. Logan Styrewall. This next guy right here, man, I asked him to change positions after we played our first jamboree, our first 2-quarter jamboree. This guy right here, you know, he'd been in the backfield, and I just felt like it wasn't a good fit for what we're trying to do, but I knew he had great hands, and I knew he would block, and I knew he would give us maximum effort. And this young man had a good year for us at tight end and earned him all Division nod, Jalen Esther. This next young man was our punter and was a defensive end for us. And I'm going to tell you, I sat up here last year and watched him in the talent show, and I really questioned him because I just didn't know if a guy with that angelic of a voice could play defensive end for us. But man, I tell you what, he got it done. He got better each and every week and just got better and better. Tanner Threadgill. This young man right here made All-Division as a receiver. He had a good year for us. He progressed. He's going to get better. He's a threat down the field for us, and you know, he's got a high ceiling, and he's just going to keep getting better. And I'm excited about his progression next year. Akeem Ashford. All right, our last first teamer, this guy right here, man, you know, I go back and I look at the spring game, and this guy was so far behind. He was going to be a senior and working with the JV. But the reason he was behind is he hadn't played in a while. But I saw it in him, and I knew it was there. And we go and we play in that first game against East Webster, and I handed it to him around the left side, and he went 28 yards the first time we ever gave him the ball. And I was like, yep, that's going to be good for us right there. Lace 3. And we called that a lot this year. And then it became race 4 because we moved him. So anyway, Morris Brown. All right, in our division, this was new to me because every division is different, but in Division 4-3A, they come up with what they call a Super 26. And what we, I guess, tried to do was sit down and really kind of like have a draft, you know, where you come up with supposedly the best 26 football players out of, let's see, 6 teams, probably 400 kids, you know, in our division playing football or whatever. So anyway, it was pretty cool to hear these other coaches talk about our kids. For example, well, I'll get to him in a minute because I don't see his right here, it's over there, we'll get to him in a minute. But for example, you know, you're sitting there across from the coach at Houston and he'll say, Coach, we can't even start talking about a defensive line unless we start talking about so-and-so from your team first. So it's pretty cool when you go and you sit down and you hear these other coaches talk about your kids like that. So we had 6 guys that were on that Super 26, and I'll just start with my favorite position, the offensive line. We had Super 26, Region 4-3A, we had 2 guys, both of our tackles, that made that team, and these other coaches just couldn't say enough about our 2 tackles. Region 26, 4-3A, both these guys will be juniors, be back next year, we'll get more of it. Talib Davis. Second guy that made that as well, that had another great year, just like Talib, our other tackle, be a junior or be a senior next year and come back. Expect big things out of him too, Julius Bugs. All right, another guy, I'm going to tell you, this guy right here brings a lot to the table. He's just a football player. He does a lot of things and does a lot of things well. He's just got a knack. He was our kicker, and he was named all-region Super 26 kicker, which was pretty good. Let me tell you why, because the kid at South Pontotoc had held that down for the last 2 years. And when it came time to vote, you know, you vote, and everybody puts it in the hat, you draw them out, and count votes. This young man was selected kicker, but he was so much more than that for us. But Austin Fulgen. All right, defensive line. This young man asked him to change positions. He, you know, after the spring game, it became evident to me that because we did some things in the spring where we dropped him down from Mike Backer to the nose, and he was very, very, very difficult to block. Very strong, got leverage, used his hands well, and I just felt like that would make us better on defense. Cameron Miller, defensive line. Got a 10th grader here that made Super 26. Expect big things out of this young man. Had a pretty good year at linebacker. Expect him to do more next year. He'll tote the ball some for us next year. And expect another big year out of him, 2 more big years out of him. Israel Whitmore. Got another young man. Super 26 Region 4-3A defensive end. He's not with us tonight. He's in the hospital down in Jackson. As most of you know, he's got a big day tomorrow, and these are prayers, Mo Harden. All right, I got one more region award that we're going to give, and then we're going to give 4 state awards, and then we're going to give some team awards. All right, this is pretty cool. We had the defensive player of the year in our division this year, and I'm going to tell you, I'm sitting there at the table, and this was the first one we voted on, and the guy at Houston said we can't even talk about anybody else, and I just floored me that you know, and I like my players and I like to brag on them, and I was kind of thinking the same way, but it was pretty cool that every coach sitting at that table was thinking just like I was. Adam Threadgill, defensive player of the year. All right, we got 4 Mississippi Association of Coaches All-State Awards. we had two guys that made second team All-State. Okay, this is the Mississippi Association of Coaches All-State team, and let me tell you how that works. Every year, the day they play the state championship games, all 6 classifications, coaches sit down and talk. And I'm not a part of the committee, so I get no say in this. All I can do is nominate our players. And I nominated some of our players, and some of them got picked, some of them didn't get picked, but some of them did. And so I'm not in that meeting, so I don't know what happened, but I know this: we had 4 guys that folks in Class 3A thought well enough to name All-State. Second team All-State at tackle, Talib Davis. We had 2 sophomores that made that team, and we only had in Class 3A All-State team, only 2 sophomores made it, and they're Choctaw Countyans. Our first sophomore made second team as a linebacker, Israel Whitmore. All right, we had 2 guys that made first team All-State. It's been, I looked it up today, it's been since 2014 that we had somebody in Choctaw County make the All-State team as a first teamer. So these 2 guys brought that back to our county. First team All-State at guard, Logan Steyerwald. And then on defense, first team All-State at linebacker, Adam Treadgill. Okay, we gave away 4 team awards this year. I'm not crazy about team awards. I love those kind of awards because those are voted on by other people. But when you ask me to sit down and just single out kids from the greatest team sport known to man, it's just really tough. And but we came up with 4. These first 2 are very important to me and to the development of our program. I believe in junior varsity football. We had 6 kids this year that started on the junior varsity team and made their way up to starting positions on the varsity team. And it's called player development. See, I can't go out and recruit like the big colleges do. I got to take what we got. We got to develop them by making them stronger in the weight room and teaching them the game of football at practice. And I'm very proud of these 2 young men I'm fixing to call out because they spent their whole fall on the JV team. And I think it's important to recognize these 2 young men. We sat down and talked about an MVP for junior varsity offense, and we came up with Isaiah Conley for that. Okay, we have a junior varsity MVP for defense as well. And we came up with Tylen Carter for that. Okay, we've got 2 MVPs for the varsity team here. We've got an MVP offense and then the Stephen Moss Award that Coach Dellinger tells me they give every year for the defensive MVP. MVP offense is Morris Brown. The next award is the Stephen Moss Award, and I'm going to tell you, I knew Coach Moss. I went to school with him at Mississippi State University in 1999. He was coaching at Ethel High School when I was at U4. And my second ever football game as a football coach, we were at Ethel in overtime. And then my second year, he's at Nettleton, and we were in a battle up there at Nettleton, the game we were fortunate enough to win in a barn burner. I'll never forget it, 34-33. I knew Coach Moss. I went to school with him. I coached against him. I kept up with him. He was a good guy, and I'm excited that we honor him to this day. with this award that we give in our football program. We give it to the most outstanding defensive player, and this year that is Adam Craighill. At this time, I'd just like to, I've got closing remarks here, but before I get to that, I want to acknowledge the assistant football coaches here. If you guys would you please stand up? Bert Ashley. Clay Gant. Shane Tackett. Jason Delano. Zoe Bible. Kendrick Williams. Jim Wood. Lance Thomas. I'm going to tell you, I got here in February, and I'm going to be honest with you, my wife and my kids were living in Oxford. Thank you guys, obviously, and I appreciate you. I got here in February, and my wife and kids were living in Oxford, and I was getting up every morning about 4:30 and driving down the road to Akron, coming to work, and I didn't see my children forever. And I'm going to tell you, I leave out here every day just kicking myself. Lord God, what have I done? I don't even get to see my kids. But I just had to grit my teeth because I knew when August rolled around, or actually into May got here, and I could get my family with me and get me a staff hired, that my life would get better. And these guys have made all the difference in my life because they're outstanding people. And they care about the young people in this room. And they care about Choctaw County High School. And I'm going to tell you something, folks, that's important. And don't ever take that for granted, because I worked in 10 school districts in this state, and it's not like that everywhere. So I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate our entire coaching staff. We're going to build an athletic program here that is going to be able to compete on a statewide level in everything we do. And there is no substitute for hard work, and we got people here that will work hard. My football guys will tell you this. I've said this a million times. They're probably tired of hearing it. Here's the thing, guys. The coolest thing, well, there's a lot of cool things about high school sports, but one of the coolest things about high school sports is it brings people together who normally would never come together. You come to the ball game on Friday night, you got people that don't see each other but once a week, and that's on Friday night. You go down to our field house, and we got little old ninth graders that never talk to big old seniors unless they play football together. And it's cool because it helps people build relationships, and it helps people build memories that last forever. Don't ever, ever, ever take that for granted. Just the other day, I sent an instant message via Facebook to a guy I played with known as Big Chief. I don't know why it was on my mind that day, but evidently I needed to speak with him, so I sent him a message, and he and I had a conversation for the first time in a long time, and it was good. It was good, and we would have never crossed paths, because when I was in high school, he was a somebody, and I was a little old nobody on the end of the bench. But I just felt like, he was on my mind, so I needed to reach out to him. And let me tell you something, that's what's cool about high school athletics. To see a community come together and support young people who play for the love of the game, who run around this town until they pass out, because they love representing their school and they just love running. There's nothing cooler than that. I saw this stuff about recruiting the other day. I love my Mississippi State Bulldogs. I really do. And I love to go watch them play. But let me tell you what I love even more. I love to see 15 to 18-year-old kids in a high school competition representing their community and representing their family in a positive way. And that's what we've got here in Choctaw County. And it's only going to get better. And I appreciate each and every one of you for the way you support your young people. You have some classy, classy children. And that is a representation of you as a parent. And it's also a representation, I like to hope and think, of our school district and the job we're doing by them each and every day. Thank you for coming. I pray that God blesses you, and I hope you have a Merry Christmas. Thank you.